What is up, everybody? Urban Mask back with episode 122, I think. And this one is going to be about VR in video games, a bunch of general updates, but most importantly, the VR Game Awards. If you've been listening to the last video I showed you, there's going to be a holiday rush coming up. You should have tuned in to learn what you need to buy and things you need to think about. And VR might be getting into the spirit and getting into some purchasing, critical mass momentum, because Ellen recently gave out a bunch of Oculus Go headsets on her show to her audience. That, in addition to a lot happening on the Oculus space, you don't need to take my word for it. All you need to do is subscribe to their YouTube channel, and they're bumping out new trailers, promo trailers of celebrities using the Oculus and the Oculus Go. New games and virtual experiences coming out every other day. My phone is just buzzing because these new notifications keep going off that Oculus is releasing more and more content. They really want you to buy, and I think they might be right. People are prepared to spend money this holiday season on VR. So if you don't know what you need to get, or you're curious about what you need to think about before purchasing, check out my other video. But if you've already seen it, or you're subscribed to the Oculus channel, then you've probably or you're getting pings about, the virtual desktop app. Something that I haven't used, but, the trailer looks really cool. And basically what it is you're doing desktop experiences like you would on your computer inside VR. And I can't wait for that day to happen. I personally use big screen, but I can't wait to give virtual desktop a try, because I really can't wait for the day that I can get rid of my desk, get rid of my monitors. Not that I don't like the screen experience, but if you've ever done anything work related inside VR, you know that you can have as many screens as you want, and they don't take up any space. So I really want to see what they do with the keyboard, or the typing feature, which in big screen is kind of a hassle. But basically it's your desktop in VR, and I want to see how smooth it is. So I'm going to give it a try. I don't know if anybody has played Heavy Rain by Quantic Dream, but that's kind of like the ideal scenario in my mind, right? Some AR, VR desktop where I can just sit in an empty room and be on Mars, just kind of like looking at files without anybody bothering me. The downside to that was, I don't know if you played the game, but he had to take pills because he was in VR so much, right? He had like the shakes and like nervous reaction. It was affecting his like neurological function. I don't know if he's the canary in the coal mine on that. We, still yet remains to be seen, but I hope that's not my future. If it is, maybe that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for VR. But along with that, Oculus, big promotions. You see a lot of news a lot of Oculus stuff in the news cycle. That's because they just announced F8 for 2019, which is going to be April 30th and May 1st. And a lot of people are speculating that around then is when they are going to be prepared to ship the first Oculus Quest units. Not a bad hypothesis. That kind of makes sense. I don't know why the Quests weren't ready for the Christmas season, but a lot of people are expecting a spring 2019 announcement for the release of the Oculus Quest. I have not ordered it yet. I don't know if I'm going to order it. My Rift is doing me well. I want to see what the limitations are before I buy it, but I'm definitely curious. One thing that I was super curious about that I couldn't control myself on is I went out and I bought a Magic Leap. So you're going to see an unboxing pretty soon. Stay tuned, subscribe to see what the Magic Leap has in store for me, and I'll give you an honest opinion. I didn't want to be left out. I did have some FOMO. And the price is ridiculously high, but curiosity got the best of me. So I'll let you know what the Magic Leap has in store, and I'll give you an honest opinion. But Huawei now is stepping into the AR hardware business. Now, Huawei is a company that makes phones, and they also have an AR app experience. But they are going to make it into the hardware devices using some sort of AR glasses. I hope they don't make the same style mistakes as Magic Leap, and I hope they don't make the same price point mistakes. But the good news is they have a long time to plan, because they're not thinking about coming out with it until late 2019 or maybe even 2020. So when you talk about on the roadmap, this thing is so far out there that it's not even worth talking about. It's just newsworthy. I thought I'd mention it. But they have a long time to plan, and if you're not into VR as a long-term investment, let this be another data point that says, hey, this is something that you should invest in, or at least start to get used to. Man, I really, really hope that they don't make it as off-putting as like the Google Glass or the Magic Leap, something that people can actually walk around with outside. But that's not what we're here to talk about. You know, this video is going to be pretty quick. I just wanted to say that the Video Game Awards is coming up, and VR has an on-stage category this year. It shares it with AR, its best VR and AR game, for the Video Game Awards, hosted by Jeff Keighley. And there are 5 games that are in there for nomination. A lot of these I know, but 2 of these I didn't know. That's mostly because some of these games are PlayStation exclusives, sadly. Beat Saber, you all should know, Beat Saber came out, hit the scene pretty hot. So did Moss. I did a video review for Moss. I would rate Moss higher than Beat Saber. And all of these in here, I haven't really seen anything that tops Moss. Moss is my all-time favorite in VR. Tetris Effect looks really, really cool. I have to give it up to Tetris Effect. I haven't played it, but it definitely looks really cool and really calming. Astrobot, you know, PlayStation VR's little sack boy sort of figure, goes on adventures and kind of like a Moss sort of experience, but for PlayStation only. And then the last game nomination is Firewall 0 Hour, which, if you haven't played it or haven't heard of it, it's basically a Onward with a storyline and a narrative and, you know, hacking, kind of that kind of stuff. So these 5 categories, no AR game made the list, and no VR teams made best esports team category this year, especially with all the teams popping up for ESL. I would have expected one to make it, but, like, you know, hey, I'm just happy that we get these 5 games, which look really, really good. And I feel as though VR has kind of reached a point to where there are enough solid free experiences that people aren't forgiving these half-made, underperforming graphics-based games. If you have a good idea and you want people to hop on board, the development period for VR gaming is over. Make a good experience for everybody to enjoy if you really want people to latch on to your game. I don't really have much else to say. It's been a while since I spoke to you guys. I am still working on my own personal VR stuff. It's taken a lot longer than I expected, but I am chiseling away at it, trust me. For updates and for more videos, please make sure you subscribe, like all the buttons. Oh, and watch the Video Game Awards and root for Moss, because Moss is also in the Best New Game Developer, Best Indie Game Developer category or something like that. So Moss is by far my favorite VR experience. I'm going to be rooting for Moss, and I'm going to be rooting for Polyarc to take it home. So make sure you tune in, either watch on Twitch or YouTube. YouTube will be in 4K. Twitch, I'm sure, will have a bunch of interactive features on the player. So wherever you watch it, I don't care. Just make sure you watch it like you're watching this video. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.